Welcome to the dark side of BEASTwriter. I am your host, Ryan Sakamoto, home of the good vibes only, where there is no off season here in the DLB. We are leaving no stone unturned. I just want to go ahead and break it down for you. News today that the Las Vegas Raiders have hired a new assistant wide receivers coach. Now, for those who know about the coaching staff, and you guys can read the book on it or find that up on Wikipedia or whatever the case may be. Edgar Bennett is the wide receivers coach. So Matt Lombardi, if you guys haven't heard the news yet, that was first released by Tom Pelissero of NFL Network. He announced that Matt Lombardi will be coming to the Las Vegas Raiders in 2023. Now, the question remains to be seen. Who is Matt Lombardi? Why the heck is he even here? And what are the parameters, right? So if you like my live streams, if you like my static videos, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe and hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so you get notified when we go ahead and post videos like this. Look, I just want to say a special shout out and a special thanks to Daniel Kim and Guillermo Quintanilla. Those two have sent me super thanks for the last live stream and not live stream, but the static video that I did the other day. So I just want to say special shout out to you guys because again, I'll be honest with you, getting that kind of feedback, whether it be engagement, whether it be a like or a share, that really does justice. And so it helps me do my job because then I can have a better understanding of what you guys want. At the end of the day, this is all for you. So again, not going to sit here and lie. The super things definitely help. The super chats definitely help. And again, we are going to be launching DLB swag in the near future. So stay tuned for that. I'm just having a great time covering the silver and black, the Raider Nation. You guys have been showing me nothing but love, and I can't thank you all enough. But I just wanted to give a special shout out before going ahead and talking about the static video as it pertains to Matt Lombardi. All right. So thank you so much, everyone. And continue engaging with me on the platform. You guys know I give it a thumbs up. I heart all your comments, and I also try to interact with you guys when time allows. So let's go ahead and talk about it. News that Raiders added wide receiver coach Matt Lombardi. If you guys haven't heard the news yet, he was added. Just make sure that ticker's up. And people want to know, who the heck is Matt Lombardi? Well, let's go ahead and take a step back. In all my videos, especially when it comes to the static videos, I like to break down all my videos into 3 parameters. The first one is, who are the players or coaches involved? The second parameter is why the move was made, or in this case, potentially could be made. And the last but not least parameter is the instant gratification versus long-term gains. All right. So those are the 3 parameters I like to formulate my static videos in. And we're going to go ahead and talk about that. So who is Matt Lombardi, right? Let me just get up that ticker is. Make sure it's up there. Up there? Yeah, it's up there. All right. Who is Matt Lombardi? Well, Matt Lombardi is, as you can guess, he is the younger brother of offensive coordinator Mick Lombardi. And it's no secret that no matter what NFL team you root for, no matter what NFL team you cover, you're going to want to bring in your guys, right? That's just the dynamics of the NFL. It's no secret, right? Looking at the landscape of the entire NFL as I do, that's how organizations are built. To do it any other way, you're doing yourself a disservice because then you have to teach and learn new techniques come into play, fundamentals come into play, different ideologies come into play, different schematics come into play. Look, more times than not, you're going to want to retain homegrown talent just like on the field. So why not do the same in the personnel department? All right. So I'm just keeping it 100. That's how teams are built. The 49ers do it this way. The Steelers do it this way. The Seahawks do it this way. And even the Raiders do it this way. I mean, everybody does it this way more times than not. In fact, case in point, look at Philadelphia Eagles. And obviously they lost the Super Bowl. But look what head coach Nick Sirianni just said. He lost his OC and DC. Right? Offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. What did he say? Oh, you know what? I kind of accounted for this because I kind of want to groom some of these other guys in case those guys depart and not really go outside of the organization, because again, he's all about fostering that long-term commitment of bringing that intrinsic value within the coaching staff where all parties involved can feel like they're a part of something bigger than them, right? And I think that's a good thing from a leadership standpoint. So again, it's no secret that Matt Lombardi is coming to the Las Vegas Raiders. Look, credentials also play a role. You have to be good at your job. I'm not just saying you get the job because of who you know or what you know. But at the end of the day, you have to do a good job. I think it's a good hire for a lot of different reasons, because a lot of people are saying, who's Matt Lombardi, right? Who is Matt Lombardi? Well, Matt Lombardi, like I said, is the younger brother of Raiders offensive coordinator Mick Lombardi, who also is very, very well-versed, and you guys know, from the Lombardi family as their father covered the San Francisco 49ers, or is with the San Francisco 49ers, I should say, back in the day. So the dynamic is there, right? Their legacy, right? Case in point, let's go ahead and take it a step further and peel back layers of the onion to get to the core. All right, so in 2019, Matt Lombardi was the quality control coach of the Miami Dolphins. And from 2020 to 2022, which is the last 3 years, he was under Matt Rule. All right, Matt Rule with the Carolina Panthers as the assistant quarterbacks coach. All right, so you take that all into account, and he also worked at Louisville and a couple different colleges. But at the end of the day, what you're getting in Matt Lombardi is you're getting a guy who's very fundamentally sound in terms of teaching the proper technique. All right, now, again, we have to peel back layers of the onion to get to the core, right? Why was the move made? All right, let me get up the ticker here. And if I'm going too fast, I apologize. I'm just excited. All right, so why was the move made, right? So on the last live stream, I talked about this. And again, special thanks to Daniel Kim, or not last live stream, last static video. Special thanks to Daniel Kim and Guillermo Quintanilla for the super thanks that you guys showed me. But getting back to the last static video, I talked about Scott Turner. All right, and he's bringing that air Coryell offense, right? With that being said, what does that air Coryell offense do? It stretches the defense horizontally and vertically because now you have to cover all parts of the field, right? We talked about the 2 wide receivers running deep routes, and then that's going to leave the slot open underneath, right? Case in point, you can I say case in point on the top because it's kind of true, right? You can kind of just, if you run enough film, you can kind of figure things out. Like majority of NFL teams do that, but there's some fuga involved. F up the gray area. I talked about this earlier. All right. The air Coryell offense is one of the best offenses, I think, also known as the air raid offense, because you can definitely put stress and put your players in the best position to make plays and focus on the defense's weaknesses and actually pinpoint that without changing up the scheme or kind of game planning in a certain way. Look, I'm going to talk about that later. A lot of excitement going on. But Coach Lombardi likely is to add the stress level in that wide receiver game when it comes to the air Coryell offense, right? Stressing fundamentals, stressing technique. This is no secret. Talked about this throughout training camp. You guys know. Talked about it during the season. You guys all know. All right. So offense, the air Coryell offense is predicated on timing, quarterback, wide receiver timing. All right. So it's kind of like the West Coast offense, but not because it's kind of evolved. So it forces the D again to cover the entire length of the field. In order to do that, you need to have solid route runners. Notice I didn't say solid wide receivers. I said solid route runners. All right. So it comes down to fundamentals and technique, guys. All right. Fundamentals and technique. When you're a wide receiver, the first thing you want to do is win early in the down. Just like on the defensive line, you want to have a strong get off to win early in the down. Why? Because then it puts stress on the opposing team, right? The opposing player that you're matched up against, whether it be one-on-one or in zone coverage. So if you can win early in the down with sound fundamentals and proper technique, you're going to win in the air Coryell offense type of a scheme that they're trying to bring in. Now, are they bringing that in? Oh my gosh, are they? Look, more times than not, Scott Turner, who comes from the Norv Turner tree, because that's his dad. And I remember watching Norv Turner's offense front row and center at Candlestick Park. It's going to do okay. Whatever offense they're trying to implement, they're going to be fine. And I think it's a great hire that they hired Scott Turner. I think it's a great hire that they hired Matt Lombardi because, again, it comes down to technique. If you can win early in the down and you understand the why behind the reasoning, right? We talked about this, or I talked about this all the time. Why are you running this route? Not just run this route and knowing your assignment, but why are we doing it? You have to think one step ahead. In fact, you have to think about what the other 10 players on your team are doing, but also the other 11 on the other team. What cover shell are they running? Do I try to find the soft spot in zone coverage? Is it a two-way go? These are things that you have to know from a wide receiver standpoint in order to get open. So you have to have what? A high football IQ. Matt Lombardi is going to bring that here in Las Vegas. Make no mistake about it. All right. Second of all right, you have to maintain your proper leverage throughout the route. What I mean by that? Well, if you're running a shallow dig and the guy's playing with outside leverage, you got to get friendly with the quarterback so that if the quarterback has a passing window or his timing's a little bit off, he's not going to throw it behind you. So you got to do what? Shield the ball between you and your opponent. All right. Proper leverage. All right. You have to maintain your proper leverage throughout the stem. And then also how people or these wide receivers come off their stem is just as important. And we'll get to that a little bit later because there's different things about that. But if they run a slant, if they run a go route, if they run a 7-8-9 banger, if they come out of the flat, if they run a jet sweep or a bit motion, just to get the defense guessing one way or the other, you're going to see these wide receivers run precise, crisp routes. Do they rise too high? These are things I look for when it comes to right behind me, the big board, right? When you look at route runners, right? I was watching Jalen Hyatt, right, against Alabama. My God, he had 5 touchdowns. 2 of those were given up by Brian Branch, all right? I like Brian Branch, but he looked a step too slow in that game. Jalen Hyatt probably runs a 4.37. That's what I saw on film today. Brian Branch probably runs like a 4.45, 4.48. Still under 4.5, if I had to take a guess. I'm guessing 4.45, 4.48. That's what I saw on film covering his last 5 games this week. But getting back to it, you have to run crisp routes, right? You can't rise too high, showing the defense what kind of cover shell, or not kind of cover shell you're in, what kind of stem you're coming from, a vertical route, an intermediate route, or a short, shallow route. No. So these are things that you look for from Matt Lombardi, Coach Lombardi, I should say. How they come off their stem at the top of the route. That's very, very important. Kyle Shanahan, he will not draft you if you run sloppy routes. Forget about catching the ball. Can you even get open? Like, what's your separation at the top of your stem? I'm just saying. All right. So with that being said, current wide receiver coach Edgar Bennett is still the man in charge, but the addition of Matt Lombardi should help. All right. It should help a lot. So in a nutshell, I think this is a good hire. Look, the more eyes you have on player personnel, the more eyes you have on evaluating talent, the better off the team is going to be. They opened up the passing game coordinator for Scott Turner, who there really was no pass game coordinator last year. They added that. They added assistant wide receiver coach now. What other things are they doing to kind of revamp this coaching staff? Because again, in order to know what you have or don't have, you have to give these guys a shot, right? And that comes from the coaches too, right? And so that's why I think you're seeing a new revamped coaching staff in a positive light, because look, iron sharpens iron. Just like with the players, iron sharpens iron with the coaches too. Let's just not get it twisted. So from the top down, I think Coach McDaniels, GM Dave Ziegler are doing an excellent job. Again, I am very, very excited for the upcoming season. Not being biased, I tell it like it is, one way or the other. I'm really excited. Like I said, GM Dave Ziegler, top 5 GM. Head coach Josh McDaniels, top 5 head coach. I'll take it to the grave. So be it. All right. So that's how I feel about this coaching staff. That's how I feel about the personnel department from the top down. Everyone's on the same page and looking toward the future. I'm very excited for 2023 season. Now, what's going to happen with the first round pick? We don't know. What's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers? We don't know. Are they going after Jimmy Garoppolo? We don't know. But I'll keep you posted. So be sure to subscribe to this channel, BEASTwriter, and also follow me on the other social media links that are in the description box below, because we keep things hot here all the time. Well, there is no off season here in the DOB. All right. So if you like the work, like the channel, like the BEASTwriter, BEASTwriter family we're striving to build and kind of formulate here in lovely Las Vegas, then consider sending me a super thanks. This is a static video. We can do that. It's a heart icon. So if you guys like this type of info, I'm going to give it to you straight. And I'll do this every day if I get enough engagement from it. So again, thank you so much, everyone. I hope you had fun on this static video as we wrap this one up at around 7 p.m. Thank you for your generosity as I continue to live out my passion covering your Las Vegas Raiders. Mahalo and aloha here from Henderson, Nevada, as we keep things hot here in the dark side of BEASTwriter. Stay tuned for the next static video or live stream. Turn on that bell, and we'll be doing it all over again as we bring to you silver and black content. Take care for now. Have a good night. BEASTwriter out.